Hey everybody, how are we doing today? It is week 5, and guess what? It's Thursday. So for those that have been tuning in, you guys know what time it is. It's time for our back day, which means a whole lot of pull-ups. Now, I hope that you have been adamant at following the stream because if you have, hey, great news! Week 5 has brought us a lot of new and interesting exercises. It's about to change. I love the 100 pull-ups, and I really want to stick with it. And honestly, it's really good for me and what I have at home because I don't have a lot of access to other pieces of equipment. Now, if you go back, I can't remember whether it was week 4 or week 3, but feel free to look back at the Thursday workouts. I have a whole video showing all kinds of variations that you can do if you do not have a pull up bar. Okay, so please look back at that. My favorite one is the inverted row where you lie under your table and you do your inverted row from under the table. If I had to do one of those alternatives, that would be my one. There are some others that involve weights, but again, not knowing what you have access at home, I try and make these as applicable to everyone as possible given the littlest amount of equipment. If you are looking for more back exercises, please hit me up in the comments. I will happily provide you with those or links, and you can also let me know what you have access to at home. Okay? But for today, we're going to stick with our 100 pull ups. We're going to finish up with those band pulls. And then, you know what? Just to make sure I do deliver something new, we'll do 2 sets of the inverted rows using the table till fail. Okay, so at least I can say I gave you a little something new. Okay, but in the meantime, let's go through our warm up. If you guys actually stuck with me on the week where I did all the modifications, you would have noticed that like after doing those, I was actually pretty fatigued. So I'm gonna try and incorporate one of those modifications into my warm up to help get my body ready to deal with the strain that those 100 pull-ups are gonna cause. Okay, so let's start out with my favorite. Wait, I'm getting way ahead of myself. Shout out. I want to spend a special shout out to Alex. You've been one of the most active people in my comments, man. You are awesome. I'm super glad that you're sticking along with these videos. And you know what? Even if I don't care how many you're doing, if you're doing any of them, man, you're already going above and beyond. So excellent job, dude. I'm super proud of you for staying fit during this time. I'd also like to shout out Isaac. I know he was commenting, and Joseph in the early ons. And then, of course, shout out my level 4 boys, Benny, Dexter, Walter, Oliver, and Mateo. I hope you guys have been tuning in and following along. And I look forward to our Zoom meeting later today. Okay? And again, hit me up in those comments so I know to shout you out. I want to shout out everyone that is following along in these videos because you guys are providing me with the inspiration to keep going, and I'm super, super thankful for that. Okay? So without further ado, let's get to our warm up. I'm going to do the 20 push ups, 20 shoulder shrugs, and then I'm going to do, you can call them planche leans. Where I got them, I can't remember what they call them, but it was like something with the bicep. Anyways, you'll see what I'm talking about when we get there. Let's get to our 20 push ups. And let's do our 20 shoulder shrugs. Ooh, maybe this view will show that my whole body's actually moving and I'm not moving my head. I feel like every time I do it head on, it always just looks like I'm nodding my head. Okay, so this next one, I want to caution everyone. First, it's really easy to fall forward when you do it correctly. So if you're concerned about that or this is your first time, I would strongly recommend putting like a big old couch cushion in front of you. That can really help. And so that way you actually feel encouraged to take a chance and not play it safe, because this drill works best when you're actually operating within your end range at the end of your balance instead of just playing it conservative and just leaning forward. You guys will know more about what I'm talking in a moment. So I'm just going to do 5 of these because it actually creates a ton of load on your lats and your biceps. The important thing here is that we maintain tightness throughout our arms, because a lot of stress is going to be put on our elbow joint right here and our biceps and this tendon. So make sure you're doing everything to contract all of your muscles, not getting loose in your triceps, your forearms, your delts, and your pecs, because having all that engaged, and of course your core, having all that engaged will make sure the right muscles are acting where they should, and that'll help reduce the risk of injury. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to lock out my elbows, round my back in that nice mad cat hollow body position. I'm going to flex my feet. Now if you're on the side, you notice all I'm in is like a 4-point position. And all I'm going to do is take this position and straighten my legs. Good. And let's just do this 8 times as part of our warm-up. 3. Whew. 4. 5. 6. 7. And we got 1 more. And 8. Woo! Those are hard. But for anyone who's interested in training a plan, it's a great exercise to kind of get your body ready for that. So I'm feeling pretty warm now. If you're like, you need a little bit extra, feel free to repeat those 3 simple exercises 2 or 3 times to the point where your body starts to feel warm. Then we can get to the pull-ups. I'm going to do a little light stretching. Again, I'm just going to stretch my pec, make sure my biceps don't get too tight. And then take that and try and turn that pec stretch into more of a bicep stretch by playing with which direction my elbow is facing, whether it be up, forward, or slightly down. Will help get that bicep stretched out. Do a little bit of overhead stretching as well, just to kind of limber up and get ready for the pull-ups. But listen to your body, do what is best for you, and then hop in on the next video so we can get started with those pull-ups.